Hi everyone, I'm Jeff Johnson. This is my EDL850 Module 14 case study. Category 1, Problem Identification and Analysis. What do you know? Well, we know that's an affluent school with a desire to succeed. Miss Tate's classes are rigorous. The website message was ambiguous. Tate was very upset. William Hall might be behind it, and there is to be a meeting with William and friends as well as Miss Tate. That much we know. What do we need to know? What does the district technologist say? What is the policy or procedure for interviewing William, contacting law enforcement, notifying the community, things like that. Okay, identify the problem. There is no assurance that William is behind this, but one must weigh Miss Tate's concern with the possible threat. William is a minor and still allowed rights and should be given the benefit of the doubt. Does the level of threat rise to the degree that law enforcement should be contacted? Does the act rise to the level of criminality? If the policy says parents must be brought in, are they bringing their lawyer? I mean, this is an affluent area after all. It would only further complicate the matter, as they might call out Miss Tate as acting with malice, like they're targeting her son because she wasn't exactly sure that it might be him. Category 2, Plan of Action. Now, bear with me. There's a lot of pieces to this, so I'll try my best. Open communications with law enforcement to ease Miss Tate's anxiety. We got to be sure, because you never know. If police do determine that it is serious, have them contact the website to determine the IP address and see where it originated, and let them handle that aspect from there. And then I would ask them if the threats warrants closing of the school, increased security, or nothing at all. If the school is closed, follow the procedures outlined in policy. If security is increased, follow procedures while notifying all stakeholders, especially teachers. If nothing at all, follow procedures while notifying all stakeholders, especially teachers, if deemed necessary by the police. No need to concern anyone and disrupt the day if not necessary. Once again, it's for the success of all students. And I would contact Miss Tate if this is the case. I want to just rely on the police to do it, just to be sure. If the police determine that it's not serious, and honestly, I don't think that it is serious. I was reading cases where kids actually say they were going to shoot up the school, and they got like a slap on the wrist. So I don't think that this is nearly as serious as something like that. So, but in any case, I'd still contact the technologist to determine the origin. Wait until school begins and then call in William Hall. I'll follow the policy for interviewing minors of serious nature. It's probably not necessary to include Miss Tate just yet, but let her know early in the day that I'm working on the issue. Let her worry about her classes more than anything else. If parents are necessary for policy, contact the parents before conducting the interview, although it'd probably be reasonable anyways. But like I said, I'd probably follow policy or procedure in that case. If I was going to contact them, I'd inform the parents of the situation, ask if they would like to be a part of the questioning. If parents want to come, wait for the parent, of course. Allow the parents to speak with the student first, give the kid the benefit of the doubt. Have sit down with parents and student and question the student with the parents. I'd play down the seriousness a little bit because, like I said, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, but I'd say something like, I know some people might take this serious, but it could suggest maliciousness, so, but I don't think that's the intent here. And then I question William using the open-ended questioning. There have been concerns that a website targeting Miss Tate. What do you know about it? Continue the questions to where they lead. Hopefully it leads to, who might be behind it. If parents can't come but allow questioning, I'll follow the same above questioning. If parents aren't necessary, just question William using the same method that you see up there. There's really no difference between the two. If William or another student is determined to be the person behind the website, I would set up a meeting with the student, parents, and Miss Tate. Allow everyone the chance to share their viewpoints of the situation, explain the seriousness of the issue, ask Miss Tate and the student to come up with a solution to repair the relationship and what can be done to prevent this situation from happening in the future. Share the possible consequences if the behavior continues to the satisfaction of all participants, just as long as that follows policy. The idea is about not just punishing, but actually repairing the relationship, because it's all about learning. I kind of see it more as a learning opportunity than anything else. If no one is determined to be behind the cause, even after the technologist comes up with nothing, set up a meeting with William and Miss Tate and have them come up with a solution to repair the relationship, because they've already been having problems, it seems. So we got to do something. Because then she might always suspect it was him, and he might think that she was purposely targeting him. In any case, we got to find a way to fix it. If the technologist is able to determine the origin, and it turns out one or more of the students have been lying, changes things a little bit. Set up a meeting with the student, parents, and Ms. Tate. Allow everyone the chance to share their viewpoints of the situation. Explain the seriousness of the issue, even more so for the lying. Ask Ms. Tate and the student or students to come with a solution to repair the relationship and what can be done to prevent the situation from happening in the future. Determine with the student the best course of action to repair the loss of trust because of the lying. And that would probably be done with me. Share the possible consequences if the behavior continues to the satisfaction of all participants, once again, as long as it follows policy. Category 3, resolve the issues based on promoting the success of all students. What is best for students? For me, I see more the benefit of the doubt. Innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, she might think it was him, but we still don't know for sure. So I'm not interrogating, but really just understanding where they're coming from. And once again, it's understanding their frame of mind. They're stressed. It's a rigorous class. They still haven't developed really any executive decision making, so they're not really thinking ahead, so it might be a good learning experience if they in fact were the ones that did it. Once again, allowing them to learn the consequences of their actions and allow them to repair the relationship and not necessarily punish. It's less disruption to the classroom activities when following procedures when notifying stakeholders. So once again, trying to do the success of all students, so even ones that aren't involved, I still gotta make sure that they're learning and they don't have to worry about things. The resolution to the problem should include examples of data and facts from the case. I've already mentioned a few, but I'll continue. There's no certainty that William and or his friends were behind the message, at least at the onset. There's high pressure for students to succeed in the affluent area, and Ms. Tate's class is very rigorous. If in fact that it's determined not be serious, my plan of action allows the situation to become a teachable moment for everyone involved and works to improve the community and not just punish, and then the students become closed off. We don't want that because that doesn't help their overall success. It's hopefully something that won't be raised to the seriousness that it could go on any permanent record, as many of these students would most likely go into college and may hold resentment that might come up later, so we wouldn't want to do that. Probably no need. Category 4, debrief the problem. What were you thinking, feeling, and valuing as you respond to this problem? For me, the main focus was making sure that the success of students. That was kind of the purpose of this assignment, but also understanding the motivations of the student or students, kind of see where they're come from. And you know what? We get stressed sometimes. It happens. It's learning how to deal with it is what helps us to grow up and become mature. And that's kind of what students need to know, and sometimes adults. Understanding that the relationship with the teacher does last longer, so the needs of the teacher should warrant equal as possible treatment. So making sure that I still listen to her, making sure she's taken care of, in this case, Miss Tate, and, so that things can improve for her, because I might be working with her for many years from here on out, especially if she's as good as she as her history makes it out to be. Also, weighing the problem with the possible seriousness of the situation, any legal issues that may arise, like if Miss Tate comes off as targeting William, or it is considered a criminal threat. I really was trying to think in those terms that am I kind of covering all my bases as far as the legality and the fairness and everything else like that. So. And once again, speaking of fairness with damage done is a solution that meets the need from everyone involved, because some people might have been hurt in one way or another and they just acted out, in their own ways. Either it was for blaming someone or even just creating the page to begin with. So just something to consider. What issues are still unresolved or open to further investigation? I included scenarios for if and when they determine the source, but it was never resolved with the scenario. And also the policy/procedures of the school/district go a long way in determining what to be done in situations like this, and they were not included as part of the scenario. I kept going back on what's policy, but really, that's what admin seems to have to adhere to, is the board policies or the procedures set in place. Otherwise, then what's the point, I felt like if I knew more of this information, it would have helped and determine a more complete plan. But once again, I feel like I did enough to be able to for if and when for certain situations. Category 5, component 1, integrity. As far as showing integrity in this case, I believe that contact the parents about what is happening and being open about that would go along with that. Also, acting to repair the relationship between parties, having sort of that moral compass right there. Playing down the seriousness and asking open-ended questions when questioning the students at the onset, because being open and honest means hey, I really don't think that it's that serious, but just in case, what do you know about it? What do you want to think? And not interrogating, forcing them, because, we all know from history a lot of times interrogation doesn't always work. Component 2, fairness. contacted police on behalf of Miss Tate, even though it may or may not be needed. But we got to give her the benefit of the doubt because you don't know, and I feel like it does warrant it to enough of a degree. Allowing William and others the chance to explain their side with their parents, I think that's fair. Because sometimes cops will come in and say stuff like, "Oh, your buddy, he's already turned on you. He's already said that." And they're completely lying, and that stuff. I don't think that's not okay. And so in this case, we allow them the chance to be able to do it because once again, it becomes more of a learning situation. Because they're still not growing up yet. And also working with Miss Tate to help find solutions to help resolve the issue because, if she feels like she wasn't a part of what happened as a result, then she might feel either resentment towards the students or, me, and that would not be good for future relationships. And lastly, the component number 3 is ethical. Explaining how the seriousness of such a message could be, extremely bad. I mean, that's, them understanding the ethics behind it. Disciplining the students in a way that allows them to build on the relationship with the teacher, whether they are the cause of the online message or not, because there were still issues going on in the classroom. So, it's good that they understand the right and wrong, and disciplining the students in a way that allows them to build a relationship with the teacher and myself if they are found out to be the cause of the message and I lied about it. And so them understanding, the seriousness of it as well as the right and wrong. So that's it. And thank you very much, and take care.